Alright, party people. Welcome back to Judas ASMR. Today, we are going to look through a couple Magic the Gathering card decks. As of right now, I'm going to just go through these three, and there's no real structure to this. I just had a bunch of decks laying around, and I thought it would be a cool video to kind of talk about my very short-lived experience with Magic the Gathering, but why I have so many card decks. If you enjoy this video, I am going to do a different one where I'm going to show off some Final Fantasy decks. I have one, don't get too excited. And I'm going to show off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander deck that just came out. I also have some Spider-Man and Avatar The Last Airbender crossover single cards that I just got, like booster packs. So I'll show that probably as well in the next video. But for this one, we're going to be going over the Fallout 4 Dogmeat Everloyal. We're going to be going over this Calamax the Stormmire, whatever that means. And then we're going to go over the Adrix and Nev Twin Casters. Like I said, this isn't an unboxing or anything. I've already seen and sleeved all these cards, but I thought it would be cool to just kind of thumb through them and let you guys look at them, and I can kind of yap, and it'll be a great way to like yap and still give you something to look at, I guess. So I was very, very interested in Magic the Gathering, especially obviously the Commander playstyle, because that was pretty popular at the time. And I really wanted to really get into that style of play and have fun with that. So the problem is I struggled to find people to play with. And so what ends up happening is that I'm like, oh, well, I'll just buy some decks in the meantime, right? And, that should be fine. So what happened is I started just buying decks and never actually playing the game. And so I was like, well, all right, well, what am I gonna do with all these cards? And I still would like to play sometime, some point. But like I said, I just gotta find some other cool nerdy people to play with. So I'm not gonna lie. Some people, they have what is the word I'm looking for? They have things about their personality. I think for me, I really, really love collecting things. Like the idea of collecting things is always so fun for me. So anytime I get the opportunity to collect things, I will usually jump on it. And so I'm trying to find a better way to like hold this. We'll worry about it later. We'll worry about it in post. But yeah, I love collecting things. So even when I ended up not really playing very much, I still thought like, well, this is still fun. This is still cool. Like I will still collect cards, and then as time goes on, hopefully I find people to play with, right? I think I love the idea of Magic the Gathering. Like I love the idea of you have a lot of sometimes similar cards, but then you just have all these different cool, amazing decks with different play styles based on how you like to play. Obviously, if you are more, I'm the worst person to make this video. So here's the thing. I actually downloaded the Magic the Gathering app on my phone, like the game. And I actually played for like a little bit to kind of learn. And then I just kind of stopped playing at some point. Like I know what all this stuff means. Like there's like the tree one, there's like a water one, there's a fire one, there's life, and then there's like a death symbol one. There's land cards, obviously. So yeah, if you're wanting to learn about Magic the Gathering, this is not the video for you. I am just showing off some cards that I think are cool, and some of the decks that I've collected over time. But yeah, anyways, I really like the idea of, like especially when it comes to the collaboration decks, where you can have focus, there we go, where you can have a lot of cool, like of the same card technically, but they just have cool different art on there. I'm a big art guy. I've always been a big fan of art. And so that's just been something that interests me, I guess. And so being able to see like all the beautiful art that comes on some of these cards has always been really cool to me. Another weird thing about me is I just love collecting things. Like I have like a Lego collection, a lot of which I haven't even built yet. I just have the boxes. And there's a good reason for that though. The reason that I haven't built them yet is that I do live with a roommate right now. And something about me is I don't want to get to a point where I've amassed a ton of stuff that I'm going to end up, oh my goodness, where I've amassed a ton of stuff that I'm going to just end up having to like move all of it, especially Legos. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to transport Legos like after they're fully built, and it is a headache. And so the place that I live right now is not a forever place. And so I guess I just decided it would be smarter to hold off on building my Lego sets until I am sure that I am stable, like in my own place. And to be honest, I would actually really, really like to do like ASMR Lego videos. I know Legos can kind of be loud, so maybe I'll have to make sure the microphone isn't too close. But for like the snapping the pieces together, it can be a little loud, I think, in my opinion. So we have to be careful with that, I guess. But, possible video ideas in the future. I don't even know if this is fun to just like watch me thumb through these cards. But we're going to do it anyways. We're already here, right? Thought it would be a cool idea. But, for all the people who might be shaking their head right now, all the Magic fans, I do intend to play this game, like with people, and not just the online app version. Like I said, I just got to find a really cool crew of people to play with. And then that should be really dope. I also realized something. There are a lot of cards in these commander decks. There's 100 cards, meaning that I might either want to speed this up, or this is going to have to be in a lot more parts than I originally thought. Like I'm going to get through this entire deck. So however long that takes me is how long it takes me. So yeah, I might have to do like one commander deck per video, because we're already at 8 minutes and 40 So yeah, I guess I underestimated how long this process would take. Oh, this is cool. I like I think foil, is that the correct wording for this? The ones that are kind of shiny. I think that's really cool. The fractal bloom. I need to put that one like at the top. Why was this at the bottom? Oh no, it was in the middle. Yeah, because we're in the middle of this one. Okay, that's cool. This is what I mean, like, again, reminder, I do plan to actually play this game. That's why I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full commander decks. But I guess it's a situation of I just gotta find a cool crew. Maybe get on Facebook, find like a Facebook nerd group, people who play Magic, like Commander. Do people still play Commander? For the big Commander fans out there, is that like still like a popular game structure, or have things kind of changed? Have people gone back to more traditional? Like what's the situation on all that? All right, we just finished the first half, and we still got another pretty thick half to go through. But it shouldn't take too long. So I'm probably going to go a little bit quicker on these. And I think the plan is that I'm going to maybe even just do rambles. Like, I'm going to have a topic, obviously. It's not just going to be pure ramble, but I think that's what I'm going to do for the other decks. So this video might just be this one deck. And then for the other decks, I will do kind of like I'll find like a topic I want to talk about or something. And then that will be how I delegate those videos. Because if I did 3 full 100 card decks, this would be like a 40-minute video. So yeah, I think I like the idea of that. I think I like the idea of doing like a bunch of different videos, and then one video as I'm thumbing through cards, I could talk about a situation I went through in my life, or I can answer questions. If you guys have questions or things that you want me to talk about in the comments, feel free to, put it down there and let me know what you think and what you want to hear. But otherwise, it's just going to be me yapping about random things. I got a random card in here. So these are the token cards, I believe. And I usually don't sleeve them just because, obviously, they are double-sided. And so if I sleeve them, I can only use one side. So I typically do not sleeve those. But let's make our way through this second half of the deck. Out of all the decks that I have so far, I'll actually tell you how. So the two, this one and this one, and the Storm Mire, both of these I got off of a guy who, I guess, you guys ever seen Storage Wars? He was a guy who, I guess, for a living, he bought storage containers, and he would buy them and then sell the stuff in them to like make his money back, right? And I guess he bought one of these, and it had like hundreds of different Magic the Gathering decks, and like commander decks and things like that. And so I think, and you could tell that he didn't know anything about it, because I believe this deck, he had it just for like a normal price. And one of the cards in this deck is actually very expensive. Like, not really, but for one card, I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. And he was selling the entire deck for like 40 or 50 bucks. So I got in contact with him, and I was like, hey, like, I'd like to buy, some of your commander decks. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he was a nice guy. He met up with me, and we made our little purchase. So yeah, that was pretty cool. He was a cool guy, just trying to make his money back off of his Storage Wars situation where he bought one and wanted to sell the things in it. Yeah, really, I don't know, man. Maybe there's somebody out there in the comments or who watches me who loves art as much as I do. But yeah, I've just always been a huge fan of just cool art on things. So like trading cards. I have a deck that I was gifted of course, now I'm going to blank on it and forget everything. Tarot cards. I have a tarot card deck that I was gifted that's really, really cool. And I guess I could even, I could go through that. That might be a cool video, because then I could go through all the different cards and I could read off like the meanings for them. That would also be a rather long video. For anyone who's made it this far into the video, I promise that these are going to be more, I'm not going to lie, they're probably still going to be pretty chaotic and crazy and wild. But with that being said, now that I kind of understand what I want to do with this setup, I at least know that they are going to be more streamlined, right? I'm going to pre-pick a topic that I want to talk about. I'm going to Soul Ring. Sorry, I cut myself off, and then I apologize to myself. Interesting. Soul Ring. Soul Ring is one of those cards where I guess it's like a necessary card for every commander deck. And so every single deck has a Soul Ring. And this is my favorite card to look at when I buy a new deck because I get to see, okay, how did they do a Soul Ring for the TMNT deck? Or how did they do a Soul Ring for the Final Fantasy deck, you know? And you get to see like the different art they choose for stuff like that. And I think that's cool. Yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, these videos will be a little bit more streamlined where I'm going to jump quicker into showing off the cards and like I said, whatever my pre-picked topic is, that's a cool one. Lonely Sandbar. I guess a little, oh, that's okay, well that makes sense. It is a land. That makes a lot of sense. Very cool. Some of the lands can be pretty cool too. Because then, you know, obviously it's going to be in the style of whatever the deck is. Some of the lands can be pretty neat. But yeah, we're gonna figure out this process. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be really fun. Well, that one's a pretty cool card. Opal Palace. I'll give you a close up on that. Kind of see the camera back there, but yeah. I think that there's a couple different videos that I've wanted to make where it is just on like one really random topic and like it felt silly to make it its own video. So I think this format would be really good for that. I can just show off cards and I can just talk about whatever that topic is. I think that'll be pretty chill. You tell that I talk a lot. I thought when I first started to kind of do the YouTube stuff, I thought that I would struggle to like talk about things. But obviously you guys have seen firsthand that when I really want to do some talking and do some yapping, it is not hard at all for me to do that. So yeah, but I will say all these cards have been pretty cool. These like ice themed, like the animal cards. Look at that bear. Look how cool that bear looks. Look how distinguished. Let me get a zoom in on that. Alexa, zoom in hands. I don't know why I said that. I should cut that out. Rusa, the Patient Professor. Legendary creature, Bear Druid. I could read some of these too. I don't have to just show them. Whenever Ruxa, Patient Professor, enters the battlefield or attacks, return target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. Creatures you control with no abilities get +1/+1. You may have creatures you control with no abilities assign their combat damage to as though I can't read. I'm reading on like a small, I don't know, you know what, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna go to the next card. But yeah, I really like this format. I know I've said it a couple times, but I was really nervous when doing this. Like I'm not an unboxer. I barely know anything about this game other than a few matches I've played on the app. I think this is actually a really cool format. Like I can read some of the cards if I want to. I can yap over it completely if I want to. You guys can pause if you want to look at the cards more and like read them. So I'm trying to make sure, because my camera doesn't like to focus sometimes. I'm trying to make sure that I at least let it focus. So that way if you wanted to pause on each individual card, you could and be able to read everything legibly, right? I'm also considering if I need to make the camera closer down so that way, you know, it focuses better. Curse of the Swine. This is our last card, so let's read this one. Curse of the Swine. Dang, that's Them boys not doing so hot. It's a sorcery card. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green board creature token. There's those tokens. Probably have the board tokens in there somewhere. But yeah, this has been a experimental and interesting format. Like I said, I wanted to kind of find more fun video ideas and things that I can do. And that was pretty fun actually. I kind of like doing that. Like I said, as a person who loves collecting things, it's kind of nice to be able to show them off and let other people look at them and not just hoard all these items for no reason. But yeah, okay, well, that was cool. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Maybe it was neat being able to look at things and not just looking at my face all the time. But yeah, that was Judas ASMR, and thank you very much. I'll see you guys around.